Okay, I think we might get kicked off. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to take you through the evolution of our practice tools and the release of Xero Partner Hub. My name's Josie Attard. I'm in the partnerships team for Australia and New Zealand, and I'm pretty excited for the journey that we're taking with our Xero practice products, having been an accountant for 15 odd years and having used Xero in the past in practice. This next journey we're on just is going to make our accounting and bookkeeping partners' lives so much easier. Before we dive in, quick note on the logistics. We have a team of experts ready to answer your questions, so feel free to pop your questions as we go into the Q&A, and they will help me out with answering questions as we go. Depending on what questions are coming through, I might also answer them on the fly too, so just bear with me. And one of the things that I did want to call out for housekeeping is, unfortunately, I am just sort of still a little bit sick and getting over a bit of a cold cough. So bear with me if I have to take a pause every now and then to have a cough. Hopefully we can get through the session without too much drama. So what we're going to cover today is three core areas, and that's the evolution of our practice tools and the problem that we are trying to solve for with our the fragmentation of existing tools. Okay. What does that mean for you as our partners? So the benefits that this is going to give you as our app partners, and then we'll touch on a little bit of APIs and next steps for you guys. So firstly, I just want to cover off and show you, in case you aren't aware of the current experience that our accounting partners and bookkeepers are having to go through when using our products. So we have a series of products that they have to use. And we started off with My Xero, as some have affectionately called My Green Xero. And that is where they can go in and add their subscriptions and manage their clients' files. Then we brought in Xero Practice Manager, which is all about the practice management side of things, and then added tax. Now, that, as you can see, is all individual products that they have to log into. So it's that quite disconnected experience. We then added Xero Work Papers, the original Xero Work Papers, and again, that was a separate login. Finally, we had the addition of Xero HQ, and Xero HQ has had a number of different features along the way. Some of the core things that it still retains is Xero Ask and Xero Doc Packs. And again, they are all separate experiences, and as you have seen, very different UI experiences as well. So that's quite a bit of a process for our partners to go through when thinking about, well, which software and just the journey itself. It's quite fragmented. So today we bring you Xero Partner Hub.
Xero is evolving its tools for accountants and bookkeepers, shaped by feedback from over 2,000 partners. Introducing the Xero Partner Hub, one intuitive experience to power your team, workflows, and insights. All of the tools you need, from jobs to compliance, now all in one place. Move seamlessly between work with a new unified navigation. Less switching, more doing. Centralized records give you a single source of truth, with data flowing seamlessly across your workflows. Power through compliance easily with tax and a new work papers solution connected as one. Your customizable homepage helps you see what matters most, so you can act quickly. Get a quick performance snapshot across your clients, or easily summarize meeting notes in seconds with Jax, your AI financial super agent. Plus, connect apps from our ecosystem and work the way you want to. Get the tools you need in one place. A simpler, smarter way to run your practice. Get ready for the Xero Partner Hub.
Okay, so as you can see, it's a very different experience to what they are currently having to go through when using our solutions. But it's based on extensive research that we've done with our subject matter experts, really being our accountants and bookkeepers who are using our products today, and consolidated those five individual products into one. Okay, so delivering the equivalent of a singular experience and giving just, though they're used to basically, when accountants legacy software, they're used to having that one solution that they can go into and everything experienced in the one spot. So we're getting so much closer to that experience for them. The Xero Partner Hub will also have a number of different things that are going to be centralized because today they have to be experienced separately, and I'll go into more details on those shortly. But you can see here that there's a number of different things that you may or may not be aware of within the Xero practice products, with Jax coming into the equation. Jax has been getting some really great interest from the Xero Blue side of things, and to bring that into the accountant experience is going to be a game changer for them. The UI is far more intuitive as well than our previous UIs, as you can see, but we're really excited to see where this goes. So some of the things that we've been working on in the meantime to get us to Xero Partner Hub is consolidating some of those core things. So what we refer to as our common core components, and that's where we have staff management and client management, which is different across all of our products, right? So we've got XPM, there's a set of user permissions there, and Xero Tax, and the same with Xero HQ. But even actually what's missing from here is Xero Work Papers historically has also had its own set of user experiences. To the client management, well, this actually started a few years ago. Now, some of you would potentially be aware of the big strides that we attempted to make. And sometimes things happen and they don't go so well, so you have to reverse. But we got to a point a couple of years ago now with a consolidated single client list between Xero HQ and Xero XPM. So that now means that there is one client list. Our partners no longer have two different client lists that they have to maintain. They are completely in sync with each other. Now, some of the more recent things that we've had to do to complete this journey was bringing in different fields that were available, say, in Xero HQ, but they weren't in XPM. So things like date of death, things like those types of stuff, we had to bring them across to Xero XPM, which now will be part of Xero Partner Hub. So one single client list, single source of truth. When you integrate with Xero XPM, Xero Partner Hub, you are also going to experience that single client list. No duplicates, no issues there. Everything's going to be nice and clean. So nothing will change. There will not be any additional work that needs to happen with Xero Partner Hub on our client list. That is all done. The next thing that we've been working through, and all these things are currently in rolled out phases of rollout or beta, sorry, is the staff management. Okay, so there has been staff management for managing Xero subs, managing Xero reporting, managing Xero Tax and Xero Work Papers. And so the first part here that we're doing is we're consolidating those user permissions for Xero HQ and XPM, making them one experience, which includes Xero Tax for the regions that have Xero Tax. So some of the other parts that are going to come across that we're working on at the moment is in relation to those things that that I called out earlier with doc packs and chart of accounts. These are things that typically have lived within the Xero HQ experience. So they will come across to Xero Partner Hub to give them that central place of where they can manage all these experiences, no longer having to open up separate products in order to do these things separate from their practice management capabilities. So what does this all mean for you? Okay, you're probably wondering, okay, that all sounds well and good. You're doing a lot of work to give your accounting and bookkeeping partners a much more seamless experience. But what does that actually mean for you guys? Okay, so the first thing that's going to mean is today we only have APIs that you can build to for our practice products for XPM. Okay, we don't have any APIs at the moment that you can integrate with Xero HQ or My Green Xero or even work papers, right? Those you're just limited to Xero practice management. Yes, historically we had some APIs for Xero HQ, but we did sort of sunset those APIs. So this meant that you could only provide your solution to Xero customers that were using Xero practice management. You couldn't provide your solution to those that were just using Xero HQ. Okay, so it really narrowed down your customer base, and especially in regions outside of Australia and New Zealand, okay, where we have very different product market fits. So it's probably a little bit more difficult for you to reach, say, partners in the US or slow in Asia or even UK. But of course, things are changing very quickly over there. So single client list meant that everybody had that one. But what Xero Partner Hub actually means is you have a greater opportunity here to connect with our partners. You are no longer going to be limited to just XPM. You'll also be able to connect with people who have historically just been using Xero HQ. Okay, when this is all rolled out, those people that have been only using the Xero HQ experience will be able to take advantage of the XPM APIs. Okay, so this is really key in helping you guys reach more customers. Now, this is what the new tech stack is going to look like, the Xero Partner Hub, right? It's going to be made up of a couple of different options. So, as I was saying before, we have, different product market fits in our core regions and even our emerging regions. So, what this means now is that any accountant and bookkeeper that signs up to the Xero Partner program will now have access to the baseline features of Xero Partner Hub. Now, historically, those partners may have only been using Xero HQ. So, as I just said, they're going to get access to the baseline product of Xero Partner Hub. They'll then have the options of upgrading, of course, to the other components of Xero Partner Hub. Okay, they'll be able to tailor it to their needs and what they are trying to achieve. Now, this bit here is what's really cool. Okay, as part of Xero Partner Hub, we will be bringing the app launcher to Xero Partner Hub. Now, you may know about Xero Partner Hub you may know about the app launcher from Xero Blue, but it's coming to Xero Partner Hub. So this is going to have prominent placement of key apps that those partners are using. They'll be able to search for new apps that they potentially want to use. And who knows, maybe in the future, Jax will help them find out what apps they could be using better as well. There's a lot of opportunity here. Okay, now what you're seeing here is just a vision. So in case you're all of a sudden thinking, but how do I get access? How do I be on that list? Okay, how do I get access to that panel? Well, there's two things. It's not available just yet. It's available in Xero Blue. And if you want to get access to it in Xero Blue and get your your app added to it, go right ahead. You can find the information on how to do that through the developer portal. Now, whilst I don't have a timeline for you yet on when this is going to be released within Xero Partner Hub, I'm keen to hear your feedback. Okay, we will definitely keep you in the loop as this evolves and when we could expect to have a release date, or even if we're looking for beta testers to take part in that particular journey. But it's just going to mean that accounting partners now, when they are in Xero Partner Hub, instead of having to go and do a separate login and go and log into the app that they're using, no matter which one it is, they'll be able to click on it and access it via the Xero app launcher. Okay. Now, you might be wondering about APIs. So, what we have done over the last year with relation to XPM APIs is I know that it's been something that a lot of our partners have been asking us for additional APIs for XPM. So we hear you and we are reviewing everything that comes through. But I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of some of the APIs that have been released or the changes that have happened with XPM APIs to date. Okay, so there's been the addition of the pagination, which I know has been a highly requested capability for Xero Practice Management APIs. And then there's also been some changes around folders and tags. Okay, so with those changes, we've had to change the way that works. But otherwise, you've got some improvements there. Now, I'd also want to call out too that XPM APIs have two sets of APIs. It's not what two sets. Two sets. There's version 3 and then there's 3.1. To just make sure that, when you're looking at your APIs and how you can become more efficient, that you're reviewing 3.1 because that is the newer version. And I often get questions from apps saying, I want to do this and I want to do that. And then they don't realize that there's 3.1 and the API is just there. Okay, so just have a look at that for me. Okay, so all existing APIs will remain. Sorry, I just noticed I had a bit of a disconnect there between what I was saying and, but all existing APIs will remain. Nothing changes. Xero Partner Hub takes on the existing APIs that XPM has. Okay, you do not need to make any drastic changes there. It's the Xero Practice Management APIs that are key. Okay, if you are one of those legacy apps or apps that had access to the Xero HQ APIs, I strongly suggest you start reviewing the XPM APIs to migrate over to those. Okay, at the moment, there's no new APIs. Okay, there's no new APIs at the moment apart from what I have just mentioned with relation to pagination and folds and tags. Okay, as soon as I have updates for you that relate to the Xero app launcher, we will, of course, communicate that to you. Okay, so at this time, that's what we have for you today. But I want you to prepare and start to think about how your solution could attract those customers that have historically been only on Xero HQ. Okay, and what you could do to enhance their experience. Now, have a think about the app launcher. Get me your feedback. What do you think about the app launcher? What else do you think that we could be doing to bring apps more into the experience? Because we're only at the beginning of this journey and we really want you to come on that with us. So please connect with me or take the QR code. Strongly encourage you to take the QR code and any and all feedback that you've got about the experience that we're creating. Please send that through. We want to hear from you. We do have some really cool ideas that we're thinking about where we could go with apps and the Xero Partner Hub experience. But I would love to have your input and take that back to our product team for consideration. Okay, your feedback is so critical to helping you guys go down this path. Now, I'm just going to have Fleur's going there and answering some questions. So a lot of this is going through early access, and we have a small group of partners using it. But if you are interested in getting access to more information on Xero Partner Hub itself, and potentially even getting early access, you've also got this QR code. Now, this QR code will take you to a landing page that we've got on Xero Partner Hub and the possibility of getting into the to early access. Now, if there's other things that have come up that you've had to think about, well, my app does XYZ, and I think this is going to have a significant impact on me. Again, please reach out. We are here to talk with you and see if we think there's going to be any issues for you and how we might be able to help. We've been doing that already with some of our partners as we've gone through some of those common core changes. So if you feel like you need more info, you want to get a bit of a deeper dive on it, please reach out. I will be here. I can help. I'll bring the team. You've had Fleur on the Q&A there helping out. We want to make sure that your experience, as well as our partners' experiences, so our accounting and bookkeeping partners' experiences, are nice and smooth. Okay, we do not want to have anything negatively impact both of our customers, our mutual customers. So Kelly's got a question here about what are the two add-ons the new Partner Hub will cost the partner and tax. So I don't have any information on those types of things, but these are all related to the partner program. So it'll all be unlocked in accordance with how they are on the partner program, as has historically been the case. Okay. I've got another question here from Alex. Work with accountants as partners. Will this help gain visibility for my app? Yeah, potentially, like especially taking part in the app launcher part. So, there's a lot to come there. Alex, happy to have a bit of a chat with you too if you want to talk about more visibility. But our ecosystem and the App Store is always key, and our sales team do encourage our accountants and bookkeepers to have a look at the Xero App Store. So I just recommend that your app listing be up to date and hitting the points that you want to get across to the customer base. Um, Okay, so I think that's really it for today. Please, again, I'm just going to repeat myself. If you have any questions, feedback, please complete the feedback form. As more information comes, we will communicate. Please keep an eye on the developer newsletter because we will put things into there. I've also asked for some feedback in the form on how you would like to receive additional updates going forward. So thank you. I managed to get through that without having to stop and cough. Sorry if I rushed through it a little bit, but like I said, we're here for you. We want to make sure that it is a great experience for everybody involved. So please reach out. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day.